And it says we're live, so I can press this button. Yay, a bit loud. There we go. Good background music for us. Right, so if you've been watching or you are watching on YouTube, then you'll have noticed that it is no longer showing a YouTube-generated countdown. It's now our own. Hello there. Welcome along to Englishman In San Diego, Talkin Comic-Con each and every Sunday. We're going to get into this in about... we've got a bit of an echo there. Someone watching on YouTube.
Maybe me, I've got multiple computers on the go.
Yes, but I just want to say before we do go on air, thank you very much indeed for all the messages of well-wishing from last week, because yes, I was absolutely like death warmed up last Sunday.
Shut that down.
Thank you very much indeed for everyone who kind of got in touch and said hi and wished me all the best. I actually did feel pretty much better from the day after, so I think it was just a nice opportunity for me to just kind of like watch the show. I've never watched the show before. It's quite good, isn't it?
It was so much better last week.
You know what? You're not the only person to say that.
So Caroline agrees with us then.
Yes. It's better when that lanky one's not on it.
I disagree, but there you go. In all honesty, in all joking aside. I am desperately...
Right. I'd also like to take the opportunity as well, because it is the beginning of the month. The payments have come in from our Patreon supporters. If you are a Patreon supporter, we really do appreciate all the help that you can give us, because it allows us to keep the lights on and allows us to keep doing what we do. We are going to, I mean, it's all going in the kind of the coffers to pay for servers and pay for bits and pieces, and next year will hopefully allow us to continue to grow and thrive, and also get some more guests on, which we kind of have to pay for, unfortunately. But thank you so much indeed. If you do want to jump in and support us, if you want to go to patreon.com/EnglishmanSDCC. I don't update it as much as I would like to, and to be honest, that's not going to help in December, because my kind of daytime job or nighttime job is as a DJ, so I am kind of tied up throughout most of December. But I am going to do my best to kind of improve and update more the best I can. So yeah, if you'd like to head to patreon.com/EnglishmanSDCC and show some love and show some support, really would appreciate it. Any and every penny counts, so thank you. Is there any kind of crowdfunding that you'd like to say, Alyssa, while we've got the chance?
Sure. People are always welcome to help support the forum and the blog. If you go to friendsofcc.com, on the top menu bar on the far right-hand side, there is a button that says subscribe. If you subscribe to the forum, you will get a full 6 months of no ads. Woohoo! So I think it's $20 for a 6-month period. And it's particularly helpful coming up in the, dare I say, pre-reg and gen-reg, and oh my God, hotels. Yes, we're talking about hotels in March.
Oh, good Lord.
Yes, I know. Another way to kind of bring it into that, ramping it up.
Yeah.
the way to make Christmas so much less stressful. Think about hotels in March.
Speaking of kind of official stuff of that nature, some people have been texting me asking about official words from CCI. Have we heard anything? Has anything been said certainly about press registration, which was supposed to happen in October? I'm waiting on official line from, I have been speaking to David, but I've been waiting on official permission to say what we've been talking about. just so you know. So at the moment it's been kind of like off the record, so we're just waiting on it allowing us to go on the record. So there we go. So bear with us on that.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of seems, along with the idea of the volunteer interest list, that they're kind of in their low point of the year, and decisions aren't being made as quickly as they would in the spring.
Yeah, I would go along with that. Hopefully you can still hear me now. Just gone in with the microphone.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. There's the conversation I've been having. I was a little bit facetious on Twitter, where I did actually say that it's not a case of the left hand not knowing what the right hand's doing, but also the right hand not entirely sure either. So it's kind of, I can imagine they are spinning a lot of plates. As soon as we get any official word from David or from anyone from CCI, we will let you know. The conversation I have been having, which is with David, has been ongoing, but waiting on official line when I can actually talk about what we've been discussing. Anyway, let's crack on. Welcome to Talkin Comic-Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. My name's Leonard Sultana, and this is our weekly show where we talk San Diego Comic-Con, con culture, and everything, all the stuff and nonsense that goes on around it. We are going to be talking primarily this week about the Chargers and about their decisions in the aftermath of the voting down of Measure C. We did talk about this a couple of weeks ago, but we're going to revisit that off the back of a couple of press announcements and also press discussions that took place this week. We'll get into that in a second. We're also going to be talking nerdy presents. If you've spotted anything that you have been buying your favorite nerd in your family, either your other half or family and friends, jump in on the YouTube chat. Let us know what you've been buying, what you've spotted, any special bargains that you've seen. I've come across a couple, and I'm certain that my guests have seen a few as well, because I'm certain that we're all kind of gearing up to Christmas. And also, if not buying for other people, buying for ourselves, because that's what we all do. We all want to buy for other people, but we end up going down the Amazon list going, you know what? I'm having that. just listen through it. So let's quickly go down our guest list and welcome my regular partner in crime. We've got Alyssa Franks from the Friends of Comic-Con Forum. How are you doing, Alyssa?
I'm doing well. I'd like to take this opportunity, if I may, just to give a shout out to Aaron, who's SDCC Fit. He proposed a challenge on Twitter, and just follow me and you'll find out about it. It's the No Holiday Gain Challenge. If you're interested in tracking how much you win, you gain or lose over the holiday, join us and we'll attempt to keep that to a minimum.
Fair enough. I don't see me losing any weight at all, but I do see me losing a lot of sleep. So yeah, it's going to be one of those things where I'm just going to be eating a lot of junk food while I'm running around and doing what I do over my Christmas period.
It's about trying to keep it to a minimum. That's all we're talking here. Not just don't gain 20 pounds.
Well, I'll try my best. Okay. We've also got two people who haven't joined us on the Hangouts before, and it's great to have them. These are regular viewers, and it's a joy to have them join us. First and foremost, we've got Craig Linders joining us. Hello, Craig.
Hi, Leonard. Good to be here. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Where can we find you in the world?
Basically, I live in South Dakota, grew up in South Africa, been here for about 16 years, mostly at Luther Corp on Twitter. I'm on Facebook under my own name, Craig Linders. Otherwise, most of the life is spent working, not as much playing as I'd like to do. So every week the Hangout is a treat.
We always see your name on the live chat, and it's a pleasure to put a face to the name. So it's great to have you joining us, Craig. What's your kind of background when it comes to your cons? Is it just San Diego, or do you go elsewhere? What do you get up to?
Well, San Diego was the first one I went to. That was 2 years ago, and that was just beyond amazing. One of the best experiences I've had, I think, for a long time. Sensory overload probably was part of it. I had to escape for a few hours per day just to de-stress, I guess, from the noise, the activity, but wonderful experience. One night I was staying in a hotel, my feet was jacuzzi jets, just to relieve the pain, I guess, of walking and standing for so long. Wasn't used to that. Last year in Sioux Falls, near where I stay, they had the SuperCon, and that's spelled SIOU, and then Pecan. That was the first one we've had in Sioux Falls. Attendance was beyond the expectations. I think this coming year it's going to be even bigger. Just a great show. Sioux Falls is about 150,000 people, so not a huge show for, not a huge area for Comic-Con, but they put on a wonderful show, a lot of volunteers. I bought a couple of sketches, which were great. They had 3D printing available, T-shirts, hats, you name it, collectibles. The local comic shops were there. So that was great. And then I did attend the Minneapolis Comic-Con for one day, which was it's about 4 hours away. That was a good fun, a little bit longer. I just went for the Sunday, but had a wonderful time. Again, bought some sketches, got some comics, got some signs, more memorabilia than I probably need, but that's pretty much been my con experiences so far.
Okay. So, I mean, it sounds like you're kind of, if not a first timer, but you're certainly kind of really getting wrapped up in the whole con experience. So welcome along. I mean, that's exactly how it should be.
Thanks.
Great. Hopefully you can join in with your thoughts on the conversation. Certainly when it comes to your first, you've had a couple of years coming to San Diego, so at least then you can get from your own experience of the town. Likewise with Graham, because we've got Graham Small joining us from the UK. Oh, and I see an offspring in the window as well.
Yeah, hello, Leonard. How you doing? Hey, Leonard.
Yes, introduce yourselves, sir.
So I'm Graham. This is my son Lewis. We're complete nerds. We've been attending Comic-Cons now for just the last couple of years. We got into about 2013.
Well, it was a while ago. I can't.
Yeah, it's a long time for you, not so long for me. We started off going to London, MCM, and then we did a couple in Austin for RTX, and we did San Diego for the first time in 2015, but we never got tickets, so we did all the off-sites, and it blew us away. So we automatically booked flights for this year, and we were lucky enough through the group to get tickets this year, and it was just incredible. So we're already booked for 2017 flights, and we're doing a nice big 3-weeker. We're going to do RTX again, D23, and then San Diego. But it's pretty much taken over our lives. It's something that we do together and really enjoy it.
So if you didn't quite catch that, that's a con before, D23, and then San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes.
And I thought I really pushed the boat out by doing Star Wars Celebration last year back to back. And geez, that's going to really put the strain on you. But you know what? You hit the ground running, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great. Right. Okay, so let's dive in with our topic, or first topic of today. And this is off the back of the vote that was put to the city of San Diego and its inhabitants 2 weeks ago. There was 2 measures put forward for a non-continuous expansion to San Diego's convention space. San Diego Chargers have been pushing for a new stadium in downtown San Diego to replace Petco Park, and that was Measure C. The idea being that what in my mind was a quite excessive tax levy was going to be put on tourists and the hotel charges, and this would fund the building of a convandinium, which would be a very large building that would be taking the place of Petco, which would be also used as exhibition space, convention space, meeting areas, etc., and a brand new stadium. But the vast majority of the money would come from the city itself. It wasn't actually, there was a small percentage that would actually be coming from the chargers themselves. They had always turned around and said that if they weren't able to get their measure put forward, they would possibly exercise their right to then leave San Diego. The reason why I wanted to bring it up this week is because there have been a couple of items with ESPN and I believe a couple of other dedicated Chargers fan sites that have been speaking to the owners of the San Diego Chargers, and they are basically saying that they will be exercising their right to leave San Diego. Jim, so let's have a quick look, because I'm just going down my details here. I just want to make sure I get all my facts right. Basically, this is from ESPN. Barring a miracle, the San Diego Chargers are expected to exercise the team's option to move in early 2017. We're looking at a option to relocate to LA with a deadline of January the 15th. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring this up and talk about it today is because there could easily be a backlash, not necessarily in terms of the financial and the kind of losing a sports team to another city, but also in terms of the reason why they would leave. At the end of the day, they've been wanting to do this, but they've been shot down every single time because people are wanting to have a expansion to the San Diego Convention Center and expand San Diego Comic-Con. If the Chargers leave, then you're going to get that backlash to the nerds, and at which point it turns into a little bit of a domino thing. I'm going to put it to Alyssa first. I mean, I suppose the question is, could there be a backlash from the city itself that would feel that they have lost this key component to the city because of our pressure as the fans of San Diego Comic-Con to have a continuous convention center?
I'm not sure we can put it squarely on the geeks. I disagree with that premise. I think we certainly were a factor. CCI was certainly a factor in saying they wanted a continuous expansion of the San Diego Convention Center. But the reality is that the San Diego Convention Center brings in, as a whole, it brings in a lot of traffic into downtown San Diego. And I would think that the people of San Diego would want to booster their own economy throughout the year and not just for that 1 week of San Diego Comic-Con. Okay. I'm not sure. And I hear what you're saying about the football sports people wanting to have that expansion, and wanting to keep the Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers in San Diego. Sorry. Yes, I do fantasy football and I forget these things. To keep them in San Diego because football is fun, But the reality is that they have, I don't know, maybe a half dozen, 8 home games a year. And yes, the stadium is used somewhat during the rest of the year, but certainly not to the extent that the convention center is. And if you take an apples to apples financial look at it, I'm sure the convention center brings in a lot more money than Petco does.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is probably a really good question to put to Craig and to Graham. As people who have experienced San Diego Comic-Con in its current iteration, where it's taken over not just the convention center, but is now eking out into the rest of the city. Like you say, Graham, that you've experienced Comic-Con from the outside, doing just the offsites. Does the convention center need to expand in terms of hosting San Diego Comic-Con and other events, or can they be a non-continuous? I mean, what was your experience? We'll go to Graham first. Your experience of experiencing an event that took over multiple venues.
I thought it was fine. I think if you're only in one space for a number of days, it might feel a bit claustrophobic. The fact that you can go out, get something to eat, and there's something happening on that street is a really good selling point. I mean, as I say, the first year we went there, we didn't have tickets. We saw everybody across the way, but we were having such a good time outside it. We weren't really that bothered about going in.
The cosplayers were really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole thing, isn't it? San Diego is the whole town. It's not just what's happening in the convention center. It's what's outside that as well. And it's not even the organized events, just the people walking about. And if you went to another place that's just a convention center out in the sticks somewhere, you're not going to have that same impact.
Okay. Craig, I mean, what's your take on it? I mean, are you a sports fan? Do you see where the Chargers are coming from? Or are you very much a case of, no, to be honest, it does need a renovation and it needs an expansion? What was your take on it?
I'm kind of a non-sports fan, except for Formula One racing and Red Bull Air Racing. That's pretty much where I am as far as sports. We were joking this morning, go sports. I was blown away just by visiting San Diego for the first time. For me, from the Midwest to get anywhere, it's a 2-flight journey to the East or West Coast. So I was able to get in easily to the airport. It was very friendly. Loved what Graham said about the whole of San Diego pretty much becomes Comic-Con. And even though I stayed out of town a little bit, it was easy to get in, got on the bus, didn't have any issues, loved the area, went up and visited a couple of pubs downtown, which was great. Like I said, just to escape for a few minutes or an hour or so, get that sensory overload. I think San Diego, from what I've seen, puts out the red carpet for that event. Understand that that revenue is probably, for a week or so, weighed against, let's say, the sports fans longer term. That's probably an issue, but for the fans, for me, San Diego's the place. Love the area, love the place. Easy to get around. Can't say enough about it.
What else could they add, though? I mean, look at the amount of the schedule for the days is so chock-a-block. What more could they add by putting it in a bigger space? Yeah, they could add more people, but then is there enough hotels, enough restaurants? You have all the knock-on effect. I think as it is, it's huge, but it's a good level, and you can walk around everywhere. I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
What's your take on that, Alyssa? Because as somebody who has seen the air in the bubble get bigger and bigger and bigger over I mean, I think you and I have been going about the same amount of time. So we've seen the. I mean, we always talk about that Comic-Con is a gas in a vacuum, that we just kind of fill the space out.
I would love to have a 15,000 seat venue to replace Hall H. I think that would to double the size of Hall H, I think would be fun.
But wouldn't it be
I'm sorry?
Wouldn't it be too easy to get in then? I think there's a certain precedent. Sleeping out overnight. We're already planning for this year. We're doing Friday and Saturday. And we're looking forward to sleeping out.
But maybe that is not a good thing to look forward to. Just putting that out there. I mean, I understand the line culture, and I to be honest with you, I experienced that really for the first time myself last year, and did thoroughly enjoy it. However, I think that there could be an expansion that worked for Comic-Con. But I think the more important thing is would it work for the San Diego Convention Center the rest of the year? And if the answer to that is yes, then yes, a continuous expansion makes sense for them. And I think that's, we have to kind of take a step back and take it out of CCI and Comic-Con. Comic-Con brought in $140 million last year. The next closest convention to that was Light Fair International, and they brought in $70 million. So it is the largest event at the convention center, but the more you book, the $50 million shows over the course of the year, the more of those $50 million shows you have, the less focus there is on the one big show of San Diego International. So how could we expand it, as Leonard said? I love the idea of rooftop lines.
Yeah, I'd like the rooftop lines and softer pavements. You know, that's kind of like the the kind of springier stuff. That'd be nice. Okay, but I want to try and get it back to the Chargers, and in terms of what it would happen to the city if they lost a major sports team. But also just to kind of go back to the earning that San Diego Comic-Con brings in. That was the amount of money revenue that the city gains as from all the tourists. And at the end of the day, there would be backlash from that as well if Measure C had gone through. Higher tax. I mean, it does seem that if whatever happens, it does seem that the tourists are going to be the bearer of the brunt of the cost of this thing. I mean, it does seem to be whatever option goes forward, it seems to be the tourists that are getting it. The other convention is there's a medical equipment or a medical convention that takes place, which actually San Diego Comic-Con has to schedule around. Considering that I know there's what you said, that amount of money that is coming into the city, I think there's something like $2 billion worth of business that happens at that convention. It's the one that they really look forward to at the convention center. San Diego Comic-Con gets all the attention, but there's this other one that really gets there, really gets them going. What I want to go back to then is the Chargers. What do you feel would happen to the city if they lost a sports team of this stature, even though they haven't done fantastically well? Aaron Neighbors has jumped in on the chat room saying it's not just about the Chargers winning. I don't like sports teams expecting the taxpayers to front so much for a new stadium. And Sarita P is saying if the team was successful, that they wouldn't be a problem. But the team hasn't been successful for such a long time. Now it's an issue. It's all about winning, and they haven't won. Would the city miss the Chargers? I mean, what I'm trying to what would happen to Petco Park if they did leave? Would they level it?
Wouldn't another team come in? Another team is
a cheaper team.
Yeah.
I don't know if any other team would want Petco Stadium being as old as it is.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
You know,
that's the question I think I want to try and put forward.
Dan
Berry saying Petco Park will not be leveled, but it is getting on a bit. I mean, not only is the convention center starting to show its age, but the Petco Park certainly is. I mean, has anyone actually been to Petco? Just out of curiosity.
I parked there. And right. it looks like I want to say it looks like a 1980s, pretty standard stadium from, the late 80s kind of period in terms of.
I was at Walker Stalker there.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, didn't you go to, did you go to a Walker Stalker there?
Yeah, we did Walking Dead Escape and we did Walker Stalker, and I thought it was in quite good condition. I mean, you compare it to some of the venues you be across here, and it's state of the art. It's ultra modern.
Yeah, so I was waiting for you to bring up a couple of UK football stadiums. Yeah. we put on some good pie and peas, but the actual stadiums themselves, they could do with a bit of a tidy up in places.
Okay. I just have to say, I got confused. I thought we were talking about Qualcomm, and you mentioned Petco. I haven't parked at Petco. I parked at Qualcomm, just to clarify.
Let's have a look.
Isn't it the nature of teams to always get a better stadium or a bigger stadium or move? You look at the Yankee Stadium in the US. They got a new stadium, and will they do it in any case? Is that just part of the progression and part of the nature of how the big money in the sports works? Perhaps that's another thought, that it may just happen in any case, and then whatever happens will happen.
Yeah, Yeah, just sorry, just to clarify, I realised that I might have confused a couple of issues in terms of yeah, it's the Padres that play at Petco. It's the Chargers that play at Qualcomm. I do apologise. I said Petco. I do apologise. Yeah, it's Qualcomm that we're talking about. Sorry about that. Because they were talking about possibly it's Qualcomm they'd level. But it is still a major team. Someone's actually asking, well, in fact, it's yourself, Alyssa. I do apologize. When was it built? We're going to have to find out when that actually was going out. s04e18, both teams are pretty bad. It's pretty much it's what's being stated so far. So, I mean, I think it's more a case of just what I feel is that as a sports team, for a city to lose that, and then what the reaction that would be against basically the event that has forced them out, as it were.
We could take them, Leonard. Sports fans would get it.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. Aaron Navis is saying that Qualcomm was built in '67. So I was 20 years off. Nobody's going to want that place, that stadium. No football team that's now, you know, major in the NFL, I think, would want Qualcomm.
Yeah.
Unless they use it to film movies or TV series.
What was that,
Yes.
sorry?
There's a TV series based out of in Petco Park currently called Pitch, about the first female pitcher in Major League Baseball. But that's based out of Petco, not out of Qualcomm. Yes, I do like that show and I watch it, but I watch a lot of bad TV.
Right.
Back to Qualcomm.
Okay, just to give you a couple of the facts and figures about this, the whole deal. This was, like I say, the Chargers have been granted the option to relocate to LA with the deadline of the January 5th, 2017. The Chargers only received 43% approval of Measure C in November. The team's $1.8 billion plan proposed raising hotel taxes from 12.5% to 16.5% to secure 1.15 billion in bonds to help pay for the stadium project. It really is, every single time I see a deal about updating anything in San Diego, it just seems like the tourists are just going to get it in the neck every single time.
I don't think it's going to put people off, Leonard. I mean, I actually got interviewed about this in San Diego with the local news this year, and they said, you know, what would happen if the tax rate went up to 16%? So I wouldn't care. You know,
I don't believe they were your actual words.
Well, it's around that. But it's not. I don't think it's going to put people off. If you're going to a convention like this, especially if you come from overseas, you know you're going to pay quite a lot of money to get there. But you're going to pay it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Let's just go through a couple of the comments that are coming in on the YouTube chat. Basically saying that Alyssa is right, no one will want it. That's from Rhonda. People getting rather surprised by just how old that stadium is. Qualcomm will be used for other events, says Dan Berry. I think you're being very optimistic there, sir. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Qualcomm is being used for 2 college football bowl games every year, and 1 college football plays their home games there. So thank you very much indeed to Dan Berry for getting in those facts there. Thank you, sir. Right. Okay, we'll move on. I'm certain that we'll. I mean, I keep trying to invite people from both the Chargers and from the Padres onto the show, and we almost got someone not last week, 2 weeks ago. At which point they kind of let us down at the very, very last minute. We were kind of a little bit left hanging on that one, but never mind. Right, we'll try and keep abreast of the situation as it goes on, but obviously within the next month, I think we're going to find out exactly what the state of play is for the Qualcomm Stadium and for the Chargers. Right, let's go on to Nerd Presents then. Now, this could be a little bit awkward for Craig and for Graham, because we did kind of like throw this at them a little bit last minute, but we'll go down the line and we'll see what we've got. this is obviously a couple of weeks, 4 weeks out from Christmas, and we're wanting to fill those stockings with those bits and pieces for our nerdy friends. Let's find out if there's anything that you've spotted that you'd like to share. Alyssa, have you got all your shopping done? Are you all sorted?
Fairly well in terms of gift giving. I do have a few things on my list which I am desperately hoping are gifted to me. They usually are. But one is, the thing that's really on my list is IDW does artist editions. And what these are printings of direct scans from the artist pages of comic books and put into a nice large format 11 by 18 book. Usually they get consecutive runs. The one that I'm interested in right now, the two that I'm interested in, one is by Jack Kirby. They've got their volume 2 for Commandi. And it just is, it's the only way that I will ever get anywhere remotely close to a piece of Jack Kirby art. Owning a piece of Jack Kirby art is through these reprints. The other book that they're doing is a Daredevil artist edition, which both of these run about $100, and you can find them on the IDW website through artist editions, drill down into their large format books. The other thing that I would recommend, if you know of somebody who does collect art, is an Iota art portfolio, 13 by 19 inches. What this is it has a drop. You could drop artist prints into it. So you've got your hard board. Yeah, that you carry with you during the day, and at night you take it out of that transport and put it into your larger portfolio book. I've got one here that's absolutely jammed. Oops, I'm damaging something here. Careful. Yes, I need another one. So that's a nice $25 gift for somebody. If you know of you need to get some a little something for a good friend.
Yeah.
So those
Excellent
are
stuff.
My 3 comic items.
Brilliant. I'm wanting to get into getting more original art, so that sounds like a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't a hint, by the way.
Caroline, your wife, I will call her up right now.
That wasn't just subtle hint. Yeah. Well, none of this is just, by the way, subtle hint stuff. So I'm not trying to find out for you. Let's go down the line. Craig, is there anything that you've spotted that you've perhaps bought for your geek friends or family?
Well, it's usually me buying it for myself, probably for the most part. I love the website Think Geek. If anyone's been on there, thinkgeek.com. They have a huge amount of everything you can think of, from cooking utensils to clothing to memorabilia to prop replicas, toys, clothes, you name it. It's just a wonderful site. Right now, they have I think it's a 30 to 50% off, which is a good deal. Plus, if you do sign up, you do get points every time you buy something, and those points can be used against a future purchase, which is a nice option. I'll follow a couple of websites like Toy Chest. They have a few new things coming out. Previews World. I was mentioning to Alyssa on email that last week I spent way too much money on comic book sets. Our local comic book shop, Rainbow Comics, Cards and Collectibles, did have half price on all their comic book sets, and bought probably the double amount I should have bought, but it was half price. So I'm trying to justify that. So I got a good amount of reading.
I'm doing the math in my head.
The math doesn't work out. So, and there's a number of sites that I follow that do have specials. I do like the Sideshow collectibles. The prices do get up there. They got some beautiful stuff. But every day, I think between now and Christmas, they are doing a special. Either it's a coupon, a discount, their prizes. So, you know, if you want to sign up, you can sign up for their Twitter feed. And literally every day there will be some option there to save some money.
Yeah, I'm signed up for their newsletter, and yeah, it's every day. There's something through from Sideshow. They are definitely on the hard sell at the moment. So no, but it's good quality gear, and always a fantastic range. No, so that's a really good point. Really good pointer there. Well done. Excellent stuff. Cool. Thank you very much indeed. Is there anything else? Was that your recommendations, or was there anything else?
Well, the other thing, my wife is probably watching now, and I think she has my wish list that I've already kind of hinted this morning, and it's our anniversary coming up on Thursday, so there may be something coming my way. The funny thing, quick story, my mother-in-law gave me a 3-foot Darth Vader collectible about 2 years ago for our anniversary, and I don't think my wife got anything that year.
How to make yourself incredibly popular. Okay, yeah. Was there any?
Does she go to conventions with you and enjoy them as much as you do?
My wife went to the one SuperCon, which was this year, and about 3 or 4 years ago, I made her stand in line in about 30 degrees temperature in the rain for half an hour so we could get some swag for being first in line. So she's a good woman.
Yeah.
You've got a keeper there. I'm not gonna lie. You've got yourself a good one.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed, Craig. Oh man. Right. Now this is where Graham's got some real sort of like tightrope walking to do here, because he now has to talk about geeks. There you go. He has to talk geek stuff without the offspring know about it.
Yes. So it was Lewis's birthday last week, and and he's got an Amazon wish list, which is full all year round. So I get off quite lightly, to be honest. He got on there and we pick stuff, and it's fine. But we have recently started collecting Funkos as well.
Oh man, it really is. It's the
so now it's limited. He sends me out shopping for limited edition ones, and that's a lot. I'm having a lot of fun actually going around and finding limited edition ones that you hadn't considered. We've got a few in here, but there's still some stuff on his wish list that
Don't
intend to get.
Why the developers were releasing them so early?
Okay. But some of the things that I've bought or are yet to buy or might be buying, the HBO shop has some great gear. Really good quality T-shirts for all the favourite shows and limited edition Funkos and stuff. And I just, when it comes, it's fabulous. Really good kit. And I think they've got quite a good sale on just now as well. So anyone who's...
What site was that again, sorry?
HBO shop. HBO's official UK shop.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones merchandise is fantastic. The T-shirts are such good quality. Also, I've recently got a magazine subscription for Stuff magazine, and it's something I've not picked up a gadget magazine for years and years, and I got the offer of 3 for £1. I took it, and I've since subscribed, and they've got a 6-month subscription for £20 just now.
Oh, wow.
And it's such a good magazine. You pick it up again, and it's, for us geeks, you go through it and want that. It's such a good magazine, and you get not only get the printed version, you also get the electronic version. So I think, as a stocking filler, it's a great thing to get. One thing that we had a couple of years ago that my sister-in-law actually bought us was a Z event zombie escape. It was here in the UK, and we went to this old manor house and had BB guns, shotguns, and chasing zombies through the dark. It was terrifying, but it's fantastic. If I think, it was a little bit pricey. I think it was about £150, but
worth it.
Absolutely worth it. Things like that. you look back on it, I'm still terrified. But these guys dressed up, jumping out in front of you and stuff, and it's just, you look back, and I think there's a really good presents to get, because you can get stuff and it'll go on a shelf or it'll go back to the shop, but you know, Z events, things like that are just brilliant.
I do quite like the comment that's coming from Rhonda, Linda's Alyssa. I hope your son is paying attention. But the thing is, Alyssa, you know what? I think, I mean, Alyssa's son is also called Lewis. And you know what? I think the idea of getting him one of these zombie escape events with BB guns would be really good. When can we get armed with BB guns and shoot them at Lewis?
Yeah, you have no idea. You have no idea how much that can appeal to me at times. Well, Graham might, being a parent. I don't know about Craig, but
Oh man, sorry to interrupt.
No
worries.
I got my mum an early Christmas present this year. I got her a small media player. It's like 20. She hasn't got a smart TV, so it's like a £21 media player, and an external hard drive with a lot of movies and TV series. And she went through all 6 series of Game of Thrones in 1 week.
Whoa!
Wow.
Did she sleep?
It's something like 3:30 in the morning. My mum is 70 years old, and she was binge watching 60 hours of Game of Thrones.
Now, my wife Caroline is the binge queen, but I think she's just been dethroned. Wow.
Yeah.
Holy
but those
crap.
Those little media players are brilliant. If you're looking at, you know, putting something in a back room, or you haven't got a smart TV, £21 from places like Amazon. There's a little, and I can send you the link. They'll play anything. They'll play absolutely anything, and you plug a USB into it, AVI.
So, I gotta ask, how is your mom after binging all of that? Was she like bloodthirsty or anything? You know, any tendency? I mean, when I binge something that violent for that long a period of time, it tends to warp with the mind a little bit. Did you notice anything?
You have to immediately move on to River Cottage, Australia, to express.
Well, I think she might have dyed her oatmeal red.
Yes.
Lord. I can also imagine with that amount of sleep deprivation, she's imagining dragons quite easily, just in a room as well.
That's her on a normal day.
Oh man, excellent, brilliant.
I do have one more item, and this is for you coffee lovers out there. Going back to line camping, so Leonard's like, just take it away. It's a portable espresso cappuccino quick machine. This is like perfect for the hotel rooms. You can also do cold brew in it. There's a lot. The other thing for geek people would also be a line camping gear, backpack pads, sleep pads, chairs, lightweight chairs. All of those things are good for people who are thinking about line camping, or to put on your list for people. And they generally run anywhere between $50 and $100 in terms to get a decent one, a nice lightweight something. Leonard, take it away.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to keep up with. These are really good suggestions. Have really put me on the spot. But I think I'm going to point people in the direction of a website that I'm really getting into. Let me see if I can just screen share this. This is a site called iRoot, which I've heard of Think Geek. I've heard of all the other stuff and nonsense, all the other sites that are out there. But this is a site that I kind of discovered over the last couple of weeks. It's called iWoot, and they've got a whole bunch of these things, which are metal construction. on the Star Wars side, these are just absolutely stunning. And the great thing, they're currently doing them, as you can just see there, they're doing them at $9.99. So we're talking, I'm trying to work out what the conversion of that would be in dollars, but it's not a great deal, considering that they're also doing 3 for £20. Now, let me just see if I can just pull this up and see if I can find the rest of them as well, because if I can just type in, I'll actually just type it in and just see what comes up in the, see if, there you go, construction kit. So you've got Star Wars Millennium metal construction kits. Let's see if I can, yeah, just type in, yeah, there you go. Start at R2D2.
Oh, Batman, we're sold.
You see what I mean? And you've got the first order. These are just incredible, and that 8018, look at that thing!
Wow.
Just incredible. But you've also got, there you go. There's one for Alyssa right there. Let me just click on this one, because let's move away from the other side of the aisle. Nice. As a Star Trek fan,
that's gorgeous.
Nice little Klingon bird of prey there, or Vorshat construction kit. So there you go. That's the one that I'm. That's a site that I've been pointing out. It's called iWoot, and I do believe they are shipping international. It's just really nice gear. I'm just really impressed with it. The other one that I'm going to point out is also, of course, Collector Core. If you are a member, and I think we talked about this last week very quickly. If you are a member and you can buy previous boxes, past boxes, and you can get them really cheap. I think there's something like $15 at the moment, and it's all the ones that have been down the line. I would certainly recommend the Civil War one, because it's just incredible. The Guardians, if you fancy a scarf, hey, what the hell? Knock yourself out. And you've also got the Secret Wars one as well, which is 2 Funkos in there. Like I say, they're just really good deals. If you are a member, you can buy those for other friends in your vicinity, and perhaps pass them on as a good deal. But I think those are just really, really tight. Really, really nice indeed. So there you go. Those are my recommendations. So there you go. That's I'm not putting any pressure on anybody. But yeah,
I'm a little bit too late for that. I'm sold.
Excellent stuff. Right, well, hopefully you get all that you want for Christmas this year, and thank you very much indeed for watching our show today. Let's go down the line and say once again thank you very much indeed to Alyssa. What's happening with you guys on the forum, and indeed where can people find you online?
Week in Television.
Oh, I do keep guessing this thing, don't I? Okay, go on then. Week in Television is something that is covered on the forum. Tell us about it, Alyssa.
I hope everybody has got a chance to catch Incorporated last week. A wonderful debut for a new series on Sci-Fi Channel. If you haven't, try and get it. I'm sure that they've got it on the Sci-Fi Channel too. A lot of shows are wrapping up this week. The CW has ended their fall finales with The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, and Supernatural. A lot of people have been talking about that with the crossovers that they do. We're expecting them to come back at the end of January, early part of February, those shows, but we will be announcing that when they do. The new show this week, if anybody likes Mythbusters, the 3 assistants, Grant, Tori, and Carl, are doing their own show. It's a Mythbusters takeoff. Hopefully it will be a little bit more edgy, and it's on Netflix. It's called The White Rabbit Project, and I believe it's going to be dropping next Friday. So that's, you know, it's a fun show to watch, and something that could be watched with during the family vacation with relatives kind of thing, because everybody knows Mythbusters and everybody enjoys that. So that's one to keep in the back of your head as being something fun to do. Westworld and Dirk Gently wrap up this week.
Yeah,
so
that's the one I'm interested in.
Absolutely. It's their
that show has
season
just blown me
finales.
away.
Their first season finale. So what that also means is that they'll probably be coming out on DVD soon, or some sort of a season way. So those of us who don't have HBO will probably be able to get them in the next month or two, maybe 3. Who knows? And then there's just specials. Oh my God, Christmas specials, tree lightings, and fashion shows. Yes, there is the Victoria's Secrets fashion show happening. Well, it's
What's that one?
some people,
Yeah.
whatever. As everybody giggles. There is a live at the Apollo, which might be fun. I'm kind of interested. I like the music stuff. So that is the week in television, and we will be back next week. People can find me at friendsofcci.com, friendsofcc.com for the forum, and at friendsofcci for Twitter.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much indeed, Alyssa. Yeah, I'm very much up for the final episode of Westworld, which comes out here in the UK on Tuesday. And if you think I'm going to wait till Tuesday to see Westworld, you've got to.
They're simulcasting it, so it's going to come out at the same time as the US.
Late night for me. What else is new? Okay. Also, Alyssa, I know that you did try recommending and pushing Pure Genius at us. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to tell me if it gets better, because I'm struggling with that show.
What I said was the first episode was okay, a bit schmaltzy. Okay, if you go back and look, I will stand by that statement. The one that I just said. I never was pushing it. I just mentioned it and said it was a bit much heavy, a bit thick.
Fair
with
enough.
the emotional crap. I said that out loud.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Okay. Thank you very much indeed, Alyssa. And Craig, thank you so much indeed for joining us. Really appreciated you coming on. What have you been watching? And indeed, where can people find you online?
Thanks, Leonard. It's been a great pleasure. Appreciate the opportunity. We've been getting into a show called Good Behavior, which is a very adult show. Quite a drama. Everything in it from tears to laughter to you name it. Put your kids away, not for kids, but really good, gets you going. We've been enjoying that, binging some of that. Basically, I try to tweet now and again at Luther Corp. Don't do enough, but we'll try to do more. And Facebook, just under my name. So
stuff. I did quite like the reaction as well from from both Graham and Alyssa there on mentioning of bad behavior.
It's a brilliant show. The lady who is in Downton Abbey, whose name I can never remember because I'm
Michelle Dockery.
Michelle Dockery,
Yep.
Amazing. She's blown her character stereotyping out of the water.
There you go. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I'm sold. So there you go. Craig,
that show I will sell. Okay, that show I will sell. Not the other one, the medical thing. No.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed for coming, Craig. And last but not least, 2 for the price of 1. You've got to show us. I'm sorry, you've got to show us that jacket in more closer detail, because that thing is. Have you seen it?
Hang on. See it better? Or do you want to...
Oh, wow.
That is very impressive. The Batman jacket there. Thank you very much indeed for showing us that. Was that a birthday present?
No, not this year.
No, Comic-Con I got this.
That was Comic-Con. The jacket was birthday last year or a year before, I think.
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
18th
birthday. Yeah.
Fair enough. Excellent stuff. So, thank you very much indeed for joining us, you guys. Where can people find you online? And yeah, what have you been watching?
We're still watching Walking Dead, I think, with the last 2. It's a bit grim, but hey, there you go. Big fans of Westworld,
Marvel TV series.
All your normal geek stuff. But yeah, Good Behavior is a must-watch. It's very, very good. I'm occasionally on Twitter, BillyBear731. Otherwise, I'm on Facebook on the UK group, but I'm fairly antisocial, so you won't see me very often.
Excellent. Guys, thank you very much indeed. And indeed to all of my guests, I just want to wish them a very Merry Christmas and a brilliant festive season. Obviously, I'll be seeing Caroline. Oh, well, I'll be hopefully seeing Caroline a bit later. But I'll be seeing Alyssa again next week as we do another Talkin Comic-Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. Hopefully next week we'll be joined by Anthony Bresnikan from Entertainment Weekly, who's going to be talking about Entertainment Weekly's offsite that happened this year, and also about his experiences as a panel moderator in Hall H. This is to be confirmed, however. I'm still kind of working out the details because he's, like a number of our guests, they like to keep their weekends to themselves. So we'll see what we're doing, but hopefully, fingers crossed, Anthony Bresnikan next week. My name is Leonard Sultana. You can find me on Twitter, Englishman SDCC. In fact, if you just search for an Englishman in San Diego, all over the place, I just end up showing up. So do have a look round. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Back again next week for another Talkin Comic-Con. And hey, look, that strict half an hour type show has been blown completely out of the water. What can we do? Excellent. Do
Funny
take care.
how that
Enjoy.
works.
I know. Do take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And from us, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.